Master Mother here. We're doing a weekend living room project where I want to build some new bookshelves in the living room because I've got so many books that my dad keeps giving me and I've run out of space. So here is the living room, which is looking a bit dejected and messy. And I want to build a corner bookshelf here, maybe a foot below the ceiling height. And then I want to build another small corner bookshelf here. And then possibly on this wall here, where the picture is, another bookshelf there. As you can see from the library, there is no more room on the bookshelves. Books are stacked on top of books, on top of other books. But I've got to find another solution because my dad's supply of books for me is endless. So the first thing I need to do is choose the depth I require of my bookshelves. And the one thing I really want to have is this ornamental 3-drawer chest sitting on the bookshelves, and it's a little bit deep for the library shelf sizes. So I'm going to just measure it and make sure that we buy the timber which is the correct depth. Just under 26. The bookshelves can only start from the skirting board, so I've got to take that into consideration as well. We're going to cut around this skirting board because I don't want to be cutting into the skirting board. But I want to see what depth I do want here. Oh, no! Shit, my nose is running. Pipes are boxed in here and down here, so the bookshelf can only come to here anyway. That's a consideration. Let's measure along here where I want it to come to. Now we're on the other side measuring the depth that we require. Let's get measurements along this side. Right, I've got the measurements down here now. Now I've got to figure out how we're going to get around this boxed in section. So I have finished all of my calculations and measurements for the shelves, and now it's off to buy the materials. So we've been to the builders merchants and we've got our pine and our general purpose ply, which looks quite nice actually. And now we have been taking measurements and we're ready to cut with the track saw. Why did I think these were going to fit into 2 baskets? Ta-da! I smell a red herring. First section of the bookcase completed. There's going to be another bookshelf coming down here and then a bridging section coming over here. Because of the stud work here, we can't actually build a bookcase in here. So there'll be a very narrow little bookshelf bridging on to this one down here. Varnishing the shelving units because I haven't actually done this particular shelf, and I'm using Ronseal interior varnish, quick dry and finish. Doesn't really smell and it dries super quick, maybe 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on the heat. Just in the workshop, mixing up the dye to dye the last bookshelf, the bridging unit in the middle. I'm using 2 different dyes to get the colour I want. So this is the Jacobean Dark Oak. This one is the English Light Oak, and I put a 50-50 mix. So I prod them in and then I give them a little mix up. So I've cut 2 pieces of sponge here so that I can dip it in nicely and apply it to the wood in small kind of strokes. I also like to use a piece of cloth to wipe over the sponge afterwards because it gets off the excess dye off of the wood and stops the streaking. So I just apply the dye with the sponge and get the cloth and just give it a good wipe over, and it gets rid of all of the smears. Well, I'm going to give this a second coat because I feel it's a little bit too light because of the bits of pine we've used aren't absorbing the dye as well as the last wood that we used. now to give them a varnish.
You tease me, tease me, tease me, but you know just how to please me. Shake me, baby.
Here's the bookcase with the bridging section, but we've just got to secure it to the back. I'm using the syringe to fill the screw holes and then flattening them off with either my thumb or a piece of tissue. When it's dry, I can sand just the area I filled, and then I won't disrupt the varnish area around it. My life. Seat so that you can just walk round and sit down even, and it will have all the proper handrails. Yeah. And progress of the bookshelf on the left-hand side. That's coming on nicely. And the pussycat's going crazy outside.
Hello guys. Hello. Hello, Chin Chin. Yogi Bear. Hello. Misha. Hello. 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 A good boy.
Just mixed up the next batch for dyeing of the wood. Finished dyeing the wood, and now I have to varnish it. So I decided to do the shelves first because they need to be consistent, and I knew I didn't have enough dye. So I've done the 5 shelves, back and front, and this is all I've got left of the 50-50 mix. And at last the sun has come out. There's a lot of activity going on in the trees. And the moon is out. So here is the 3rd bookshelf, and that will be 3 bookshelves in the living room, making it super cozy and plenty of room for my dad to bring me millions more books. So here we have the bookshelf in place now, and we just need to make a couple of small spaces for the bottom because the floor is slightly uneven, and then we'll be screwing it to the wall. So it's looking fantastic with all the bookshelves now. Let's go downstairs and see what the bookshelves look like now they're all in place. I've started tidying up the living room, but just a little bit because I'm so busy I don't have time. So bookshelf 1, bookshelf 2, bookshelf 3, part of the living room tidied up. It's looking fantastic. There's a shot of all of them. We've just added some, not finials, I've forgotten what these are called, but it really complements the arch. And I had them lying around, I bought them from a friend, so I think they look really fantastic. Thank you for watching our bookshelf build, and be sure to come back for some more mediocre, average content videos soon.